Do you wake up once, twice, maybe even 3 or more times each night just to use the bathroom? If so, you're not alone, and it's not just a nuisance, it could be nocturia. Frequent nighttime urination affects over 50% of adults over 60, and it quietly chips away at your sleep quality, your energy, and even your immune system. But here's the good news. Nature gives us powerful tools, and today we're talking about the top 3 foods backed by science that can help calm your bladder, reduce inflammation, and finally help you sleep through the night. What exactly is nocturia? Nocturia isn't a disease, it's a symptom. It simply means waking up at night to urinate one time, maybe normal, but 2 or more, that's disruptive. The causes can vary: aging, overactive bladder, diabetes, prostate enlargement, medications, fluid retention, or sleep apnea. But one often overlooked trigger is diet. Certain foods stress the bladder, others soothe it, and 3 in particular have been shown to improve bladder control, reduce inflammation, and minimize fluid buildup overnight. Number 1. Pumpkin seeds. Let's begin with one of the most underrated superfoods when it comes to bladder health: pumpkin seeds. These small, crunchy seeds are more than just a tasty snack. They are packed with nutrients that directly support urinary and prostate function, particularly in men. A 2014 randomized clinical trial published in Nutrition Research and Practice demonstrated that pumpkin seed extract significantly improved symptoms of overactive bladder in both men and women. Participants experienced fewer nightly bathroom visits and reported an overall improvement in their quality of life. That's a big win for something so simple and accessible. So what gives pumpkin seeds their power? First, they are rich in zinc, a mineral that plays a crucial role in prostate health. Low levels of zinc have been linked to prostate enlargement, which can compress the urethra and result in more frequent urination, especially at night. For older men in particular, maintaining adequate zinc intake is essential for managing nocturia. Second, pumpkin seeds contain phytosterols, naturally occurring plant compounds that help reduce inflammation and swelling in the prostate. This can ease pressure on the bladder and reduce urinary urgency. Third, they provide omega-3 fatty acids, especially in their oil form. These healthy fats help soothe irritation in the bladder lining, reducing overactivity and sensitivity. To get the benefits, consider snacking on a small handful, about 1 to 2 tablespoons, of unsalted pumpkin seeds in the evening, ideally before 7 p.m. You can also sprinkle them on salads, blend them into smoothies, or mix them into soups. Another great option is using cold-pressed pumpkin seed oil, which has been studied for its therapeutic effects on urinary and prostate symptoms. One key tip: avoid eating pumpkin seeds too close to bedtime. Give your body at least 2 hours to digest and absorb the nutrients. This helps minimize fluid retention and reduces the likelihood of nighttime bathroom interruptions. In short, pumpkin seeds may be tiny, but they offer big support for anyone struggling with nocturia. Number 2. Cooked mushrooms, nature's vitamin D, support for bladder health. Next on our list of top foods for relieving nighttime urination is a food you might not expect: mushrooms. They're low in calories, gentle on the bladder, and surprisingly powerful when it comes to delivering vitamin D, especially when properly prepared. Why is vitamin D so important here? Because it's not just a bone-supporting vitamin, it also affects bladder function. A 2019 study published in the International Urology and Nephrology Journal revealed a strong link between vitamin D deficiency and an increased risk of nocturia and urinary incontinence, particularly in older adults. In fact, individuals with low vitamin D levels were twice as likely to experience nighttime urination and bladder overactivity. Here's how it works. Vitamin D plays a role in regulating muscle contractions, including the detrusor muscle, which controls when your bladder releases urine. When this muscle becomes overactive, it sends the urge to urinate, even when the bladder isn't full. Vitamin D also supports nerve signaling and reduces inflammation, which is especially helpful for people with diabetes or metabolic syndrome, both of which are common contributors to bladder dysfunction. Furthermore, vitamin D helps maintain immune system balance, which is vital for protecting the bladder and prostate from chronic inflammation or infection. So where do mushrooms come in? While most foods provide very little natural vitamin D, certain mushrooms, especially shiitake, maitake, and portobello, are unique. When exposed to sunlight or UV light, they naturally produce vitamin D2, a plant-based form of the vitamin. This makes them an excellent and natural addition to the diet, especially for people who aren't getting enough sun exposure or don't take vitamin D supplements. To get the most out of mushrooms, it's best to cook them. Cooking not only improves their flavor and texture, but also increases the bioavailability of their nutrients. It also reduces their oxalate content, which can irritate the bladder in some sensitive individuals. Sauté them in olive oil, roast them with garlic, or stir them into soups and stews. Here's a bonus tip. Before cooking, leave fresh mushrooms out in the sun for 15 to 30 minutes. Just like human skin, mushrooms will naturally convert UV light into vitamin D, boosting their nutritional value. Think of it as charging them with sunlight for your health. So if you're struggling with nocturia and looking for a gentle but effective food ally, cooked mushrooms might be exactly what your body needs. Nutritionally dense, bladder-friendly, and science-backed. Number 3. Asparagus, a surprising ally for your bladder. Rounding out our top 3 is a vegetable that sparks mixed feelings at the dinner table, but may quietly be working wonders behind the scenes: asparagus. While some love its earthy, grassy flavor and tender texture, others find its aroma, and the signature after effect in urine, a bit off-putting. But when it comes to supporting bladder health and reducing nighttime urination, asparagus deserves a second look. Now, let's address a common concern right away. Many people say, but wait, doesn't asparagus make you pee more? Isn't that the opposite of what we want for nocturia? That's a fair question. Asparagus is indeed a mild natural diuretic, which means it encourages the body to release excess fluids and sodium. But here's the key. This effect actually works in your favor if you use it wisely. During the day, fluid often builds up in the lower legs and tissues, especially in older adults or those with circulation issues. When you lie down at night, that fluid redistributes and makes its way to the kidneys, increasing nighttime urine production. Consuming diuretic foods like asparagus earlier in the day can help the body expel this fluid before bedtime, thereby reducing the amount your bladder needs to process at night. Scientific and traditional knowledge both back this up. According to a study published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine, asparagus root has been used in both Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for centuries to tone the bladder and reduce urinary inflammation. Its reputation as a bladder-soothing food is ancient and now supported by modern insight. Asparagus is effective for bladder and urinary health due to its unique nutritional profile. It contains asparagine an amino acid that helps regulate the body's fluid balance and gently flushes the kidneys without putting extra pressure on the bladder. It also provides glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that protects the bladder lining from oxidative stress and inflammation. Additionally, asparagus is rich in folate and dietary fiber, which support gut health, a critical factor in reducing systemic inflammation. Its prebiotic content, especially inulin, feeds beneficial gut bacteria, helping to lower inflammation that can affect the urinary tract. To reap the benefits, it's all about timing and pairing. Aim to eat about half a cup of cooked asparagus with lunch or dinner. Light steaming or roasting with a touch of olive oil preserves the nutrients while enhancing flavor. Pair it with lean protein, like grilled salmon or chicken, and a complex carbohydrate, like quinoa or sweet potato, for a meal that supports your bladder and sustains your energy. Here's a pro tip. Avoid eating asparagus too late in the evening. Because of its diuretic effect, it's best consumed at least 4 to 6 hours before bed, so your body has time to process and eliminate excess fluid before you lie down. This simple change in meal timing can lead to fewer nighttime awakenings and better sleep. So while asparagus may not be everyone's favorite veggie, it just might become one of your most valuable tools in the fight against nocturia, blending age-old wisdom with modern nutrition science. What the latest science says about nocturia in diet. Let's take a deeper look at what current research says about managing nocturia through diet, and the findings are both encouraging and practical. A 2020 review published in the journal Nutrients highlighted that dietary patterns rich in vegetables, omega-3 fatty acids, low in sodium, and timed hydration, drinking more fluids earlier in the day, led to noticeable improvements in lower urinary tract symptoms, including reduced nighttime urination. These findings emphasize that what you eat and when directly impacts bladder control and inflammation. In 2021, a Japanese study on older adults found a strong correlation between higher intake of fiber, antioxidants, and improved sleep quality. Participants who consumed more plant-based foods, including leafy greens and fiber-rich vegetables, experienced fewer nocturnal awakenings due to urination. This suggests that nutrient-dense diets not only calm the bladder, but may also support deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Another key finding comes from a meta-analysis in Clinical Interventions in Aging, which pooled data from several clinical studies. It concluded that people who followed moderate protein, low sugar, and anti-inflammatory diets consistently reported fewer symptoms of nocturia. Diets such as Mediterranean or DASH were particularly helpful, likely due to their focus on whole foods, healthy fats, and minimal processed sugars. In short, the latest science confirms a thoughtful anti-inflammatory diet, not just medications, can play a major role in controlling nocturia and improving nighttime rest. Frequent nighttime urination can feel frustrating, exhausting, and even isolating, but it doesn't have to be your norm. What you eat matters more than you might think. Pumpkin seeds, mushrooms, and asparagus aren't just nutritious, they're powerful allies in calming your bladder, reducing inflammation, and restoring deeper sleep. So instead of reaching straight for pills or just accepting the fatigue, start with your plate. A few small changes in your evening routine can bring big relief. And remember, listen to your body, stay consistent, and always consult your doctor before making any major dietary changes. If this video helped you, give it a like, share it with someone who wakes up too often at night, and hit subscribe for more health-backed, natural solutions.